What's up? It's your study buddy, Andrew. I help people learn new things and techniques, limits they're capable of. I read books on how to change your wealth blueprint, how to change a paradigm, change bad habits, have more discipline, work on new memory techniques, study skills. Concentration and study is what we lack. Focusing on what you need to do, what you need to learn is very hard these days, this day and age, with all of the technology, everything we have. I mean, with this little guy right here, I have access to infinite knowledge, and I can connect to anybody in the world. I can connect to 20 people in the world in different locations on 5 different continents. So it's powerful. We have all these distractions. I have, about 120 apps on my phone. I can do all kinds of things. I can have AI generate a photo for me. I can have AI write a script for me, do content for me. I don't much do all that, but the fact that I could, a lot of people can. So you're always bombarded with things you can do. Social media, you want to check out, see how your friends are doing. You want to see what's going on in the world. You want to check the politics. You want to check the news. You want to see what's going on with this hurricane down in the Maldives. You want to check and see what's going on in this earthquake in Alaska. So there's just infinite things to check on, to do. So we have to learn to get back our focus. Our nervous system is hijacked. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. It is technology's fault. It's just the way it is. And yes, I think a lot of it is designed that way. However, we're not supposed to focus on that. Don't complain and be angry because you're in a self-made prison. Get out of it. Get to a better place. It's in the power of your mind. So, if you are hijacked, if your emotions or your time is hijacked, you can get it back very easily. And it just takes a little bit of dedication, a little bit of discipline. And I used to think, well, I'm not very smart. So, interesting story. When I was younger, my dad said, Andrew, don't you want to learn that better and be more smarter with this? Don't you want to get better at math, even though you don't like it? So then, working smarter is better than working harder. And I said, I thought about it. For a few days I thought about it. I said, I don't think I'm very smart. Compared to the other people that I'm around, compared to me being a fast swimmer, but everyone's judging me by how fast I can climb a mountain. It's a different level of genius. But so I thought I wasn't very smart. I thought I'm not as smart as some people. They could just look at something and figure it out really quickly. They got the answer. Me, I'm something like, oh, yeah, okay. And I noticed, I have a thing built in my mechanism where I notice things. I pay attention to small details. So I noticed that I wasn't the smartest in my eyes. So I came up with the idea, well, I'll just work harder. I want to become wealthy and financially free and help my family have the best life ever, travel the world, help guide people to finding out what they're best at life, I'll just work harder to get there. And that was a bad approach, because working harder doesn't necessarily get you there. Because when you're working for someone or 9 to 5, you're in a saturated market. Meaning I can't work 60 hours and expect to get 20 hours of overtime, time and a half, extra pay. Correct, in some circumstances you can. Some jobs, your boss will give it to you. He would rather you do it than hire some guy that doesn't know what he's doing, or you stick with the company. These are the people that are coming and going, so you're top tier. They look after you. But most places won't let you do that extra 20 hours overtime because they'd rather pay someone normal wages to do those 20 hours and just keep you at 40. So your working hard would have to be you working in the time and your fill-in time, your time after work, your weekend time, your holiday time. I've worked on my birthdays. I've worked on hurricanes in my room studying. 2 years ago, and it was so bizarre. A girl that I very much had asked a lot of admiration for, and I had deep feelings for, told me that she just wanted to be friends, blah, blah, blah. And I looked at the message and I smiled and I had a calm feeling. I remember I just said, oh well, she's not the one. And I said, yeah, that's fine. So let's be friends. She's like, really? She was all happy, because we can be friends. But I was really hurt. And so I locked in. Hurricane was coming in. It's my birthday. I went in my room. Said, I'm not coming out of here until I'm a changed man. Until I overcome these weak emotions that are driving me to, loneliness, depression, neediness. Said, I don't need that. It's not serving me. It's not serving anyone. So I locked in. I would have rather been doing something else for the hurricane, I like being around people or family, friends. When there's a hurricane or something going on, we can kind of like, whoa, look at that. Oh, look at the winds. Or just talking, This is a daytime hurricane. And my birthday, I'd love to have been spending it with family doing something, I locked in. I had to work on me. So that was my dedication. That was my work I had to put in. I had to go and fight my emotions. So I very much wanted to text her and call her and ask her why, after all this time, did she decide this? It didn't matter. She didn't feel the way I did. I couldn't make her change her mind. So why stress about it? Sure, I could have forced her. I mean, I could have made myself more presentable to her. I could have ghosted her. I could have said, yeah, let's talk soon. Let's get together and go check out the pier, as friends, and we'll go watch the sunset together. And then ghosted her, cut her off, cold turkey, make her wonder what's going on. What is he thinking? Does he have another woman he's talking to? But I locked in. I got myself right, and then I went out and I executed on my actions, and I started getting my goals, and I started being happy and fulfilled again. I started working out and getting in shape, I made it a daily workout. I was going and working out for like 2 hours, hitting cardio, lifting free weights. I was doing different pull-ups and kinesthetics training so I could get more strength and muscle built in, more endurance. I was working on my stamina, cardio, just doing it all. It was my vice. So working hard, I found, did not work. In that circumstance, it worked hard. It worked for me. But working hard to make a living, you can get fired. You can work 30 years somewhere, 10 years somewhere, put in a lot of good work, be the greatest person there. But the company's going bankrupt, or they made some bad investments, or someone doesn't like you, so they've been feeding bad rumors or talking about all of the mistakes and the flaws you've been making and not bringing other people's up in the meetings and stuff. So you look bad, so they cut you loose when it's the cutting time. And just like that, you're out of your secure job and your career. So it can happen in an instant. So you're supposed to find what you're good at, what you do flawlessly, what comes to you naturally, what you can handle, what other people struggle with. It takes them a long time to build or to fix or to review or to do. It takes you seconds. You're quick. You're quick at math. You can look at something and figure out the answer in your mind in a matter of seconds, where other people, they got to write it out, they got to use a calculator, they got to think about it, they got to process it, they got to trigonometry, geometry, they got to figure it out different ways and, process it. They got to double check their answer. Some people can just look at it, math whiz, they got it. So that's a gift. Now use that math. Go be an accountant. Go do something that you can do. Start your own accounting firm, So I now got the message from my father. Rest his soul. Love you, Father. Now I want to work smarter and not harder. I'll work hard at working smarter, not the other way around. I learned that intelligence can come to me from any way. I don't have to be smart in every proficient way or the way that others tell me I need to be. I have other gifts, other abilities, talents that they don't have, that they don't know of. So I am still a genius, just in my way. I have to find that way that I'm a genius. And so that's what I've been working at. I've been studying me. Like I'd be studying NLP style of learning. So it's just learning how you learn, Most people are visual or auditory or kinesthetic. They feel on it, they need to do hands-on. Some people, they need visual. They need to see someone else do it and explain why they're doing it like that, and then they got it. Some people need to watch someone do it, visual, then do it hands-on right away. So feeling and kinesthetic, that locks it in. Now they've got the mechanism. They got the way to do it. So sometimes it just takes a little more understanding. I found out that I was the rare one, which held me back a long time, besides lacking discipline and consistency, was I was an auditory digital learner, which means I like to have details. I like to know why we're doing it like that. Otherwise, I'll try to figure out a million other ways I can do it. Maybe I'll do it better. Maybe this way's, if I just look a little longer, I'll find a better way to do it. I overanalyze. So that holds me back. That keeps me from launching the business because I'm waiting for the perfect time. I'm waiting till I have enough information or the right people working for me. So when I learned that, now it's no longer a weakness. Now I focus on it. Now I learn to use it to my advantage. Now I know, okay, all I gotta do is just get some quick details on it. If I can't get someone to explain these details to me on it real quick, I'm gonna look it up on my AI. I'm gonna have my AI analyze it for me and explain it to me in a more simple way. I'm gonna say, you have a 180 IQ, you're a coach, and you're teaching me, who is a beginner at this. Perhaps I'm coming out with a 12-year-old intellect, and you're explaining it to me so I understand it with proficient and calculable means of determination. And then boom, I get my answer, and then I get the details, and I've learned it in a more proficient way than if someone explained to me, or if I just got hands on it, So there's ways to beat this system, to go around alternative academic learning. So a lot of the ways you learned in school is not the best way. Do you want to be the 95% who does not live above their means? Sure, they go on a vacation a year and whatnot, but they stress about the money. What if the money runs out? Oh, I got to kiss ass at my job because I don't want to lose my job because I got my family to support. How much freedom and how much mental cognitive abilities is that draining from you all the time? The thought in the back of your mind, even if it's just subconsciously, you're wondering, how do I keep my job and keep my family fed and keep ahead of the bills and keep my kids in this program that they're in? How do I afford this vacation to go and do these things? How do I travel the world? My goal is to travel the world and go to all these countries. How am I going to do that on my salary? So that's 95% of the world. It's crazy. I would rather be in the 5%. And to live more peacefully, to be more in tune when I'm with my loved ones and family and friends. I'm able to be present, be grounded, show them my calm demeanor. I'm still a respectful gentleman. I have service to others. I treat others with delicacy and decency and respect, and that shows my children how they should handle it as well. So I learned working smarter is better. You don't have to be a genius to get there. You can learn. One of the highest recommended books I can present to you is my book right here. This is called Limitless with Jim Kwik. He's a brain coach and a memory expert. So he studied all different ways to have a better memory, how to retain information, how to study better, and how to have more focus. The problem we don't have these days is focus. So if you don't have focus, you don't have consistency, and consistency is how we get most things in life. You can have a day where you're just highly motivated, inspired, driven. You're passion driven and you're focused. You feel like you're gonna get your company going, you're gonna have all these things happen. And then day 3 comes up. You've kind of lost that drive. You've had some setbacks. You've had some people that were supposed to help you or work with you, coordinate with you, collaborate with you. Now they're not helping. They're not doing their part you were especially hoping to allocate certain services to. So you quit or you slow down. You lose that momentum. But you must stay consistent at it over and over. That is how the brain learns, and we get it to the subconscious, is consistency. You must do it over and over and over and keep focusing on what you want. Think about it, visualize it often, what it's going to be like when you have your company at the level where you want it, where you're serving people all over the world, where you have people working for you, and you got coaches you train, and they go out and they coach people, and then you're making this change that you want, whatever your goal or desire may be. But your focus must keep strong. Learn ways to get your focus back. I had to learn mine. I had ADD, ADHD, or whatever you want to call it. I got distracted. I could barely even sit through movies and watch them in a movie theater. I'd get up, have to go stretch my legs, go run around a bit, go look at some things, go to the bathroom, go get a popcorn, go talk to some people. I couldn't sit long, and that really hindered me from learning and being able to get to a better state. Then I learned grounding, just breathing, doing some breathing that would just stop all the chatter, just focus on what I need to focus on. I developed techniques of looking at something on the wall and just staring at it for 2 minutes. Don't break in conversation. That's training my mind to focus. Staring at a candle is much more easier and satisfying. Stare at a candle for 2 minutes. Just do that 2 or 5 minutes every day, or a couple days a week. You'll have more focus. You'll be able to notice that. You'll able to, if you need to read a book and you're hard at reading books, or you need to study something or do something, try this. Tell yourself, I'm only going to read it for 5 minutes. And then if I want to, I can go do all this other stuff that I'm stressing about that I should be doing. Chores around the house, or going and spend time with my family, doing that. But if I'm reading the book and it's really hitting home, it's good, then maybe I'll keep reading. You'll find most of the time, if it's learning something good, not just a fictional book or fantasy or romantic book, it's something personal development or personal growth or business or health, you would want to sit there longer and study it. You'll get a lot out of it. You'll be like, wow, I feel so enlightened. I learned a lot, and you'll feel good. It'll boost your confidence as well. The more you learn, the more confidence you have. So what I've learned is this book teaches you, have you heard about flow state? It explains it very well how you get into flow state. Now, this is the expanded version. Sorry for the large book. The normal original copy is a little bit smaller. They added about 100 pages to this because they added AI, more neural tropics and stuff. So, but the original one has all this other stuff in it. It has focus, a whole chapter dedicated to focus, a whole chapter devoted to study, a whole chapter devoted to memory, and then a whole chapter to speed reading, a whole chapter to thinking, a whole chapter to purpose. You want to help finding out what your purpose is? Read that chapter. It'll open up some insights and you'll be able to go out and implement. This book is just a guide. You do the work, okay? You're the coach. You're the one in control. You got the free will to do what you want. Energy, a whole chapter on energy, how to get more brain health, energy, so you're focused more. You got more cognitive abilities. I would get on camera. I would be talking to people, and I'd lose my my English. I'd be sitting there. I'd be sounding like a Looney Tune character. I would be stumbling my words, and then I was like, I got to get more articulate, and I've got to get more present, more grounded. I want to sound more energetic, have more charisma, more power in the speaking. So this book, it really helps you with all that. And if you think you have a bad memory, you're not a genius, or you can't remember anything, or you can't focus, don't have a memory, you can't think about things right, you can't speed read, you can't learn, this book will change that completely. It's honestly one of the highest recommended books that I could suggest. It's very good. So, I guess just learn to use that book and figure out what you need to do. You'll get some good insight. You'll be able to focus more. You'll be able to study. But what we're dealing with, all of us, I was struggling from this, should I say. Struggling, wasting days, because I would be doing something, I'd be feeling anxious and anxiety, and I was like, I gotta go do this, and I'm supposed to be helping people, so I'm supposed to be learning this so I can teach it. I'm supposed to be making content and sharing these things that I'm learning, but I need to be spending time with my family. I need to be getting exercise. I need to be walking outside in the sun more. I need to be doing this, and I was just being pulled all these ways, killing me softly and slowly. However, I got a more multitasking. It does not work. I'm only putting 10% in all these different tasks. It's not fair to myself or my loved ones because I'm not grounded. I'm not loving. I'm not considerate. I'm at the beach with my family trying to enjoy a beach day, and I'm thinking about work. I'm thinking about the stress. And then when I'm at work, I'm thinking about how I should have spent more time with my family. I should have enjoyed it. I shouldn't have been so rude. I shouldn't have ignored them. I shouldn't have walked away when they were having a great time and go just so I could go think, or I'd go make a phone call for work, Inappropriate. If you're working, work. If you're at time with your family, spend the time with your family. Be present. So, what we're dealing with is you don't have to focus, which leads to not being consistent, having the habit. You want to make it into a habit of what you're doing. And then your hijacked nervous system. So you got to be able to shut all the clutter out. And that includes clutter from your past, your traumas, your phobias, your limited beliefs, bad things that have happened to you, bad things that you've done in the past that you haven't forgiven yourself for. You must let it go. You got to forgive yourself. Look up a video on YouTube, Ho'oponopono, and it's a Hawaiian tradition, what they do over there, and the locals and the people there, the tribes, the native people, and you'll find that doing this exercise, forgiving people that have wronged you, forgiving yourself, even if they're not alive, you do this spiritually. You've connected to all these people still. So you forgive all these people, and you forgive yourself, and you ask them for permission. And there's not been a single time that I asked for permission to be forgiven, or I asked for forgiveness that I didn't get forgiven. So it's amazing. Try it. It will help you to change your life. You must work on some of your shadow side. You got to work on those things that are holding you back. They're there. Your brain's like a supercomputer, and if there's all these programs running in the background, it takes up your processing power. So it will keep you from getting. If you're focusing on all these other things, it will stress you out. It'll worry you. You have to work on them. So I hope this was helpful, and you're able to get back your focus. You're able to get back your free will. You're able to live at peace with your decisions and do your things. You're able to live with purpose, passion, and you just have a remarkable life. So I hope to see you doing great, see you at the top, and follow more for more content. This is only the beginning, what you've seen here. I'm gonna be sharing stuff all the time. I've got stuff uploaded. It's just a lot of big changes coming. I just got a good training that taught me some very good secrets, or it's not secrets, but techniques, and they're basically like secrets because you never hear about them in conventional studies in school or of word of mouth. It's really what powerful speakers and negotiators and CEOs and people that move up the ranks, what they've learned, and so can really be a game changer. So I hope you learn everything you need to learn. You get to where you need to be, because I'm a student for life. I'll never stop learning because there's so much to learn, and there's always a way to get better and to do better. So blessings. May this be your most prosperous year yet.